Hi, I'm Jack. My buddy Garrett and I are Kentucky Best Buddies. I'm also an ambassador for Best Buddies International, which is all about inclusion. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell you why I believe that both craft and garden academies need to include students like me. Last year, I applied and was accepted to craft, but because I was required to give it my IEP to attend, I couldn't go. I was pretty disappointed. The people at craft, especially Dr. Christian, Dr. Jen, and Dr. Grupa, have been great. Here's the problem. People seem to think that craft and garden do not have to implement IEPs because they happen to be on college campuses. I think this is wrong. I hope by the end of this presentation you agree with me that these academies can and must find a way to include students like me. Reason number one, Craft Academy is a high school. In its offer to me, Craft stated that it was a college. In the announcement, the sponsors of House Bill 232 were all in agreement that Craft Academy is a high school. The bill itself says that Craft is a high school. I don't believe that any of the bill's sponsors intended to exclude qualified disabled students like me. Do you? If I were at Craft, I would be taking college classes, but at the end I would graduate from high school, not college. Craft's own website, handbook, and marketing materials all say it's a high school. Craft and garden kids live in special dorms. They have different rules than the college students. The state says craft and garden are high schools. Everyone knows them to be high schools. They award high school diplomas. My grandmother has a saying, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, well then, it's a duck. The fact that craft and garden are located on college campuses does not make them colleges. Another grandmother has another saying when she was trying to get my grandpa to buy a new couch. She told him, this couch is rumsprung. Reason number two. Not only are they high schools, Craft and garden are public high schools. They each get some of their money from the state budget, which comes from taxpayers like you and my family, which brings me to reason number three. These laws apply no matter where the public high school is located, even on a college campus. If there is confusion about who's responsible, the state is supposed to solve the problem, which I would really appreciate because as far as I can tell, out of 1,233 K-12 schools, there are only 2 schools that are not required to serve students with IEPs, Craft and garden. I find this curious. Reason number 4. A student with an IEP is not supposed to be forced to give it up in order to attend an accelerated program for which they are qualified. But in my case, this is exactly what happened. What choice did I really have? Please understand that I face this kind of battle every day. For example, I can't compete for the Governor's Cup because I'm not allowed to use extended time on the written tests, even though it is allowed for the National Merit Scholarship tests. But in my own state, for my own governor, I can't use extended time on the exact same kind of tests. This is also wrong and also needs to be changed. For me to let go of the chance to go to craft was a pretty big thing. If you see me, you may think he seems fine, and I am fine. But what you don't see is the energy it takes for me to do this, or the preparation, or the support. Every day I'm fighting to be and do the best I can. It stinks to also have to fight just to get the same opportunities as other students. Imagine what I and other disabled students could do with that energy if we didn't have to use it this way. I want you to know how much my family and I really do appreciate what Craft offered. They really worked with us. The situation is not their fault, it's the system's fault. But somebody sets up the system, and the system is rumsprung. Another curiosity. Reason number 5. Even if I were to attend craft, my home school would still get money for me, even though I wouldn't be there. Why doesn't the money go to the school where the student is actually attending? Why isn't the money for disabled students being used for them? Why should this be a battle? The money is already there. If I were to go to craft, a craft representative could join my ARC team and we could write an IEP that works for everyone. We have districts of innovation, and maybe soon we'll have charter schools that we hope will be innovative. So why can't we be innovative right now? Is attending craft a choice I get to have? Will all students truly have school choice, or just some? It takes me a lot longer to learn how to do most things. I didn't learn to read until I was almost 10, but when I was 12, I'd learned well enough to get a 34 in reading on the ACT. Last year, I got perfect score in reading. But the thing I am most proud of is not the score that I got, but the fear that I had to overcome to go up on a stage in front of hundreds of people to receive the award. There's no standardized test for courage or perseverance, or passion, or empathy. I'm just one student. There are others like me who are just as smart and smarter. We can't do what we do without support from our families and teachers, or without the accommodations we need. What we need is not as clear as a ramp is for a person in a wheelchair. It requires thinking differently and acting differently. Today I'm asking you to do just that. I'm asking you to build an on-ramp for twice exceptional students. I'm asking you to build an on-ramp for all students. Reason number 1. Kentucky deserves to be known as the #1 state of inclusion. Help keep 2E kids in Kentucky. Some of us do pretty amazing things. My grandfather was honored to carry the Olympic torch for the 2002 Salt Lake City Olympics. In 2008, just a year after he died, the Kentucky House passed a resolution called the Ernie Marks Holocaust and Genocide Education Bill. My grandfather was an amazing advocate for Holocaust education because he was a survivor. Every year, he took hundreds of students from all over Kentucky to the museum in DC to help them understand. One of them is a teacher at my school right now. Every year, she teaches a course about the Holocaust. The bill was passed in his honor by legislators, but it was a group of students and their teachers from a Catholic middle school who made it happen. None of them were Jewish. Kentucky led the way with this law. I want to honor my grandfather's memory by taking a stand for what I believe in, for what I know is right. Kentucky students deserve to live in a state that shows the rest of the country what true inclusion and true innovation looks like. We deserve for you to write the laws and policies that work for all of us. You ask students to work together every day. Whatever the issues are, I'm counting on you to work together to figure them out. We are the state of Abraham Lincoln and Muhammad Ali, and Ernie Marks. Thank you for listening to me, a student, and for creating these incredible academies. I'm not throwing away my shot. I hope you don't throw away yours.